It is no surprise to me that we draw so many parallels of the Son to Jesus, the life-giving Son, and just the joy that it brings, the warmth that it brings, the hope that it brings for a new season. Life springs up in the spring, and it just gives you, it is so much more than things occurring on the outside. It affects us so much, and it is so real, and it is no surprise to me, and I do not think it's a coincidence. I think the Lord has designed it this way, and I think he also has designed us to be very creative and with the capacity to create beautiful literature and poetry and music and art, to demonstrate these parallels, to communicate these parallels with nature and seasons and the sun and the Lord and life in him. And it's so wonderful, and I'm just overflowing today with joy because of the sunshine and the warmth and the hope that spring is around the corner. Winter is lovely. I love the things that each season brings, and I love the coziness and the fires and the comfort food and all the wonderful fun things we do in the winter that set it apart from the rest of the year. It's a lovely rhythm of lots of reading and lots of games. We have more movie times as well, and I love it. But there is nothing like springtime and all the joy that it brings. And so I feel like the whole world is just anticipating the springing of life. The trees are starting to bud. The daffodils are starting to bud. The tulips are peeking through the ground. It's so magical to me, and I'm just thankful. Today also was pretty exciting. My chickens have been molting forever, and I guess they ceased to lay for 8 to 12 weeks. I think ours was like 12 weeks, and we've had like 1 or 2 eggs a day for weeks, and today we had 10. So I am so happy that it seems like we're nearing the end of this annoying 2 months of no eggs. So I'm about to go feed the chickens a bunch of scraps. This chicken's trying to lay eggs in the doghouse. I scared her out. I've got rice left over, some bread scraps, some Brussels sprout pieces left over, and I'm just gonna go dump it out for them over by their coop so they can have a little yummy snack to enjoy. And I'm gonna go see if there's any more eggs and go on a walk because the outdoors are just calling me. It is so beautiful. It's like the perfect day. It's breezy and sunny. The high is 60 today. We're done with school. I'm just so thankful. Wow, my dogs must be out enjoying the weather too, because I cannot find them anywhere. So, something else to share with you guys is a little homeschool update. I feel like the last 4 years, to be honest, have just been so just constant adjustments, which in a way is good because I have the freedom to do that, and I'm doing what I have to do to make sure my children are getting what they need. But in a way, it's really annoying because I like to just like have a plan and then start the plan and do the plan and follow through with the plan. But that's not realistic when it comes to individual humans that present different needs at different times. And you just gotta be flexible. You have to be flexible. So I'm still doing everything the same that I shared with you guys in the beginning of the school year. We're still doing Beautiful Feet books as our history, our geography, character lessons, writing assignments, crafts, things like that, all from the history. But I just started to feel like it wasn't enough. So we went ahead and added Good and the Beautiful language arts, which I've never done before. But I had a taste of the Good and the Beautiful with our science last year, and I really enjoyed it. I feel like it's very rich. It encompasses so much. It just is a very enriching curriculum that covers many things, not just the subject that it's, labeled. So, for example, Ivan's language arts is teaching him a lot about geography and different things about different, right now it's Australia. So he's learning about Australia, and not just the continent, and not just the landscaping, but about influential people from either from Australia or that have Australia as a part of their story in some impactful way. And it's just really neat to see how rich it is. It just pulls from so much and brings it together, learning spelling and grammar, as you also learn all these other neat things. And Joel's is also bringing art and geography into his. So I so far love it for that reason. It's very rich. And for the other reason that I knew I need some change is I feel like so much is on me still. My kids are in 7th and 9th grade. It's time to back off. And I've tried this so many times already, but I just feel like everything I choose is probably geared more towards how school looked when they were elementary, where we would just read for hours. And I treasure that so much in my heart. Those years were so good. They were so beautiful to me. Reading to them is probably my favorite memories I have with my children, is reading together rich literature. But that's why I got Beautiful Feet books this year. We enjoy the reading, but realistically, it's too much. And so I already have had to say, okay, we're not reading this book. We'll do this instead. And then it feels like we're not doing enough because the time that we would be spending sitting down reading is now empty space. And so I knew, okay, if I'm not going to read for 2.5 hours a day, then we're going to have to add something. And that's where I decided to add in the grammar, the language arts for good and the beautiful. And I think it's a really good move for the simple reason it is self-directed. Of course, I'm available to them when they need my help. There are sections that are teacher-parent sections, but it is predominantly self-directed. And it's rich, and they could do it on their own. And it fills up that time that I felt insecure about. Like, we read 3 chapters or 3 stories or 3 sections of this book. Now read this article online, write a brief explanation of what led up to the Revolutionary War, and then you're done with school for the whole day. Do a math sheet and you're done with school for the whole day. I just felt like it wasn't enough for what grades we're in and the capacity that my children have. So that is the newest change to homeschooling. So today our day looked like they were reading while I was making breakfast. Then while we ate breakfast, I read scripture to them and history to them. Then they did their language arts lesson while I folded laundry and prepared lunch. Then they did their math lesson, and we are done. And I feel like the flow was wonderful and very realistic to move forward this way. And I felt like it was plenty of good, rich work. So that's the latest. Thanks for watching, you guys. God bless you, and see you next time. Please subscribe and like.